Hello there everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking into if you guys are going to get back together. I think I've never done this video before, this kind of video before, like specifically if you're gonna get back together. So this is going to be the first time. So this is specifically obviously for people that are in a separation from their specific person. So here we have pile 1, which is the Rider-Waite deck. Here we have pile number 2, which is the Pulp Girls Tarot. And here we have pile number 3, which is the Magic of Tarot. So just take a deep breath. The timestamps are in the description box, and we're going to be seeing each other in a moment. Hi there, pile 1. This is going to be your reading if you pick the Rider-Waite Tarot. So let's see if you and the person in your mind are going to be getting back together sometime in the future. Okay, so here we have the Two of Swords. Here we have the King of Cups. Here we have the Six of Cups. So there's definitely going to be a chance for you guys to reconcile. These are too many. These are too many as well. This is the Eight of Cups. So what I'm getting here is that there's still going to be feelings involved. So there's still going to be feelings involved in both parts, you know, for both of you guys. And I feel like if you guys are in no contact right now, there's going to be contact in the future. Now, what I'm getting here is that there have been some issues in this relationship, and it's like you have been stagnant for some time, I feel, before then this separation became you know, obvious, and you both decided to, you know, just break up, you know, or one of you broke up with the other. So there has been a very long time of thinking and evaluating whether it would have been the best decision or not. But then eventually logic won eventually, and either you or the person decided that the relationship just wasn't doing it anymore. Now, it's not because of the lack of love. It's because I believe that someone here either might be emotional immature, or they're just not ready for something that is a little bit more committal and more long-term. There are feelings here involved, but I feel as well like one of you two don't really know how to channel those feelings properly. And it's like they're scared of love. You know, they're scared of feeling all these genuine feelings, because here the Six of Cups, it does talk about genuine love, genuine affection, a lot of things, you know, having that childlike energy. And it's not really that easy to get in contact with it on a day-to-day basis, let alone in a relationship, when you have great chances to get heartbroken, you know. So it becomes complicated for people that have relationship trauma, for people that have a lot of toxic family dynamics, they grew up in a toxic environment. It's very, very complicated to finally encounter something genuine and just go with the flow. You know, it's very, very hard. So I believe that there's pretty much something that happened, and I'm seeing that all of this genuine affection is what is going to bring you guys back together. Now, you might be very resentful towards them, and they might be very resentful towards you at this current time, but this doesn't eliminate at all the actual love that is still present, you know, and the love that is going to be present. So I feel like once you're going to reconcile, chances are that nothing really changed. So obviously for a couple to break up and then get back together, things have to change in the window of time in which they're separated and most likely in no contact. So one of them either has to grow, both of them have to grow, both of them have to gain perspective, both of them have to do some evolution, and then they can come back together and eventually grow together. But I feel like there's not going to be a lot of evolution from either your part or their part, you know, so just take it as it resonates. But I feel like one of you is not going to see that evolution happening. So it's like, oh, well, I came back because I thought that this was going to be different this time around. I thought that we were going to be working this out this time around, but I see that things are still the same. So, you know, maybe this relationship isn't for me. So if you're the one that is finding yourself stagnant and not being able to move forward. Obviously, you don't have to do things just for the sake of a relationship, just for the sake of someone else. You're going to have to start doing things. You have to do things for yourself first. And then from being able to do things for yourself, you're going to be able to do things for other people, and you're going to be able to sacrifice yourself more for other people for your relationships. But if you're the one that's quite stagnant, then I suggest, for your own sake, for your own personal individual sake, now let alone the relationship, that you try to find a way out of being unstuck. It's most likely anxiety and the overwhelming of having to grow, the overwhelming feeling of having to grow, which is what can cause us to freeze. But I feel like once you guys are going to be in contact again, and this person is going to realize, oh, well, this person hasn't grown at all, so maybe this is just not the relationship for me, But it could also be the other way around, so you just take it as it resonates. Let's see what else is coming up. So here we have the Queen of Swords. Here we have the Seven of Swords. Here we have the Ten of Wands. And here we have the Tower. So I feel like there's going to be a comeback when you least expect it. I feel like, this is going to be very unexpected. Either you're going to text them or they're going to text you. But I'm getting that there is as well some shady stuff that has been going on in the relationship per se. That could be the main reason as to why you guys just broke up, because someone was a little bit too much in their head and was a little bit too much into seeking validation from others rather than, exploring the relationship and communicating whatever fears were involved. Here we also have the Six of Wands. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Hierophant, and we also have the Devil. So I'm seeing that here someone really did have some committal problems, and I feel like these things are just not gonna go away. So I feel like these things are still the same. I feel like this is not really... If you're the person that is actually evolving and that is growing forward, once you're going to go back to this person, or once this person is going to come back to you, things are going to still be the same. And I feel like somehow deep down you know that. It has been a very hard decision to, the one of leaving, the one of walking away, but it has been fundamental because I am seeing a lot of shady stuff happening, and I feel like this person is like very much inclined towards validation and towards running away from the feeling of commitment, because there is that inner feeling at some point that you feel entirely committed to that person and that your heart is in that person's hands entirely, and that can freak a lot of people out. And I feel like this is something that literally freaks this person out, and it just makes them want to flee. So whatever it is that they have done, it was obviously not done against you, it was done against the fear. So obviously it has nothing to do with you. Obviously this is not an excuse. But, if this person really is going to be the same person as to how you left them, you are going to recognize it in the blink of an eye. Because I feel as well like there's going to be no room for rose-colored glasses anymore. There's no room for that. Whether it comes to this person, whether it comes to another person, there's no room for that anymore. Because, having some rose-colored glasses put on is going to really set you up for the worst possible things. So, and I feel like this is something that you've realized the hard way, but I sense that, there's going to be a chance for reconciliation, of course, but then it's going to depend on you and, the information that you're going to be receiving from this person regarding if they have grown or not, if they have evolved or not. Then that's something that you're going to have to decide once this person is going to come back. So in the meantime, you do you. Obviously, I feel like this person might be distracting themselves from this separation. I feel like they might be overindulging either in, sexual activities or maybe alcohol or maybe some sort of addiction. I feel like maybe there's someone that struggles with addiction in general, but then since this happened, they have kind of fallen back into it. And this is already an indicator that this person is just not ready to grow. But, eventually anything can happen. So it could be as well that they're going to have a spiritual awakening at some point. even next week, and then they're going to start getting their shit together. But for the looks of it, it doesn't really seem like it. But again, it's your choice. All right, Pile 1, there's all that I have for you. If it made sense, please let me know down in the comments, and we're going to be seeing each other next time. Okay, bye-bye. Hi there, Pile 2. This is going to be your reading if you picked the Pulp Girls Tarot deck. We're going to be seeing if you and the person that you have on your mind are going to be getting back together sometime in the future. All right, let's see. So, all right, so here we have the Two of Wands. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles. Here we have the Moon. And here we also have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so we're obviously going to be pulling more cards as we go forward. Now, for the time being, it seems like there's going to be a lot of like rejecting of that thought, you know, rejecting the idea of getting back together, or at least that's what I'm seeing right now with the Seven of Wands. There's going to be this push and pull between this thought, you know, between this, you know, this thought and the opposite thought. So between, are we going to get back together? No, we're not. You know, there's going to be some fighting. And I feel like maybe that might be going both ways. I feel like at this time, you both think about each other a lot. Here we have the Two of Wands and everything that could have been, you know, but that hasn't been able to evolve considering someone's fear. It could be as well that it's like both of your fears put together, you know, and you just did a huge cocktail and, you know, of your insecurities, their insecurities, and their fears and your fears and everything, your doubts, their doubts, and then everything just went to shit. But I'm seeing that for the time being, there is this idealization, there is this daydreaming about, well, what could happen? What would happen if we actually were to try again? You know, what would happen if we actually got together one more time and we tried it one last time, doing things properly, you know? But I feel like this is something that could definitely happen. Like, I'm not saying that it's not, it could definitely happen. But this is going to require a lot of things to come to surface. Because here with this moon, I sense that there are a lot of hidden aspects that are being suppressed. You know, whether is some shadow work that is not being done, whether is someone that just has a different idea of relationship, of commitment, and they just are afraid to expose it because of the fear what the other person might think. There are certain things here that are not coming to surface, but I would be more inclined to say and to think that is regarding some shadow work that is not being done. You know, is this complete rejection of happiness, you know, of being genuinely happy. I feel like someone here has this fear of being genuinely happy and of being successful. This doesn't only limit itself to relationships and love per se, but it also spreads through this person's entire life. So it could be that they might choose to do a job that doesn't really bring them much, but that they are more comfortable with, than to do a job that they are that they would be completely perfect for, that actually pays quite some money, but because of their fear of being successful, then they reject it. And they do things out of comfort. They seek out experiences out of comfort, you know, rather than challenge and growth. I feel like whoever this person is, it might be the both of you, I repeat, there's this disliking of challenge. There is this disliking of growth, and you cannot be with a person like that. You know, and you yourself, if you're someone that you just don't like being challenged, there is not a lot of room for you in the future to actually be successful and to actually, you know, do something meaningful with your life, because you have to be challenged. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You cannot stay stagnant for the rest of your life. You cannot do those things. You could, but obviously then you're going to be spending half of your life idealizing a better life rather than making it happen. Now, let's see here what else is going to come up. Here we have death. Here we have the Magician. Here we have the Fool, and this card really wanted to pop out. And here we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so what I'm getting here is kind of a straight no, but you know, anything can happen. So I don't really believe in a straight yes or a straight no, to be honest. I believe in a I don't really know. I don't know how to put it into words, but I don't believe in a straight no or a straight yes anymore, because again, anything can happen overnight. You know, anything really can happen. So I feel like there could be a chance for you guys to start over. Absolutely. We have the Fool. But again, how willing are both of you to grow? You know, how much are you willing to do that? I feel like there's no chance for you guys to come back together and actually make it work if you both don't do something really meaningful and remarkable with your lives. If you don't take the idea that you have in your head of success and you install it into your day-to-day life, you know, you have to do something with, you know, with the information that you have, with all the skills that you have. It could be that this is definitely one person in particular that just has all of these obstacles, you know, that has all of these blockages and they have to get through, you know. But if it's both of you, then, you know, obviously there's going to be no way. I feel like relationships like this, they can last a little longer if one person in particular is prone to sacrifice. Because if you both are not willing and you're not prone to sacrifice and facing challenges, then definitely it's not going to go anywhere. You can also be together for the rest of your lives, but it's going to be a battlefield every single day. And I'm not really sure that you want that. Nobody wants that, you know. Nobody does. Even the ones that believe that they do, that's not what they want. How can someone possibly want that? That's just the result of toxic environments and you know, dynamics that they're familiar with. You know, if you are used to war, if you are born, you know, in the middle of a war, and you spend the first 20 years of your life in that war, once you're going to go into a peaceful place, it's going to be weird. It's going to feel weird and it's going to be uncomfortable. There has to be some deep radical change if you both want to get back together and work things out. There has to be a deep radical change. A lot of things have to be left behind. A lot of shadow work has to be done. A lot of resentment has to be let go of, because I'm sensing here that there is an inner talk of, how could this person have done this to me? I've done so much, I've sacrificed so much, and I put everything into this relationship. I just poured my heart out, I ripped my heart out, and then this person just decided to, you know, take me for granted, yada, yada, yada. And whoever the person that thinks this is right, you know, absolutely, but that has to be let go of. That doesn't really help anybody. You know, that really doesn't help. It actually makes the situation worse, because it just creates more anger and more resentment, you know. It's basically anger and resentment reproducing themselves, you know. It's not like you can completely let go of these emotions if you keep on fueling them. You know, that's pretty much how it is. Now, let's see as well what we have here at the back of the deck. Here we have the Five of Pentacles. Here we have the Sun. Here we have the Knight of Cups, and here we have the Page of Pentacles. So if you guys are in no contact, there will be contact here with the Knight of Cups. I feel like if you're waiting on an apology, that is going to happen. But I feel like it's not going to be an actual, real, heartfelt apology. I feel like it's going to be something very half-assed. And it's like, you know, not really the best thing, to be honest with you. I feel like it's going to be something very... not vulnerable, you know. It's something, you know, you will actually be able to feel that it's something that is very covered still by a layer of fear and just not being able to communicate vulnerably. In spite of everything, we have the Sun, we have the Fool, we have the Magician. So yes, I believe that there is a chance here, but I don't feel like it's likely, you know. I believe that it's quite unlikely that you will get back together. And ultimately, you have to remember that divine protection, no, rejection is divine protection. So it is going to be quite hard to actually, you know, drill this truth into your mind and into your heart. But you're going to be understanding as you're going to be going on with your life that most likely it was for the best, you know, that this didn't work out. Maybe you were setting up yourself for a very miserable life if you would have kept on going with this person. Here with the Five of Pentacles, I'm also seeing that there might be some abandonment issues, and that this person decided to, you know, push you away with their actions and their words in order to avoid this abandonment, this hypothetical abandonment in their head, you know. And I feel like this is something that is going to, that was going to be very frequent. Then the longer you were going to get into the relationship, the more frequent that was going to get. And that's just hell on earth, to be honest with you. Like, it's just not worth it. All right, Pal 2, this is all that I have for you. If it made sense, please let me know. And we're going to be seeing each other next time. Okay, bye-bye. Hi there, Pile 3. This is going to be your reading if you chose the Magic of Tarot. So, let's see if you and your person are going to be getting back together anytime into the future. Okay, starting off with the Nine of Wands. Here we have the Page of Wands. Here we have the Sun. And here we have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like if you guys are in no contact, something will happen. I feel like there's going to be some contact. I feel like maybe the relationship will be restored, but not in a romantic way, at least not for now, because we're going to be pulling more cards as we go on. So I'm not done. I'm just going to be saying what I see from these initial cards. It could be that you're not going to be restoring the relationship in a emotional way, you know, in a romantic way, but that is going to be more of a physical thing, you know. Obviously, it depends if that's what you want, but I feel like it has higher chances, at least for what I'm seeing at this moment, as higher chances for you guys to reconnect and then pick it up from there, from a physical aspect, and then either move forward from that or stay in that energy, than it is to you guys actually, you know, talk to each other again, confess your feelings, and then, you know, pick it up from there in a romantic way. I'm seeing here that there are some trust issues, honestly, here with this Nine of Wands. And it could be that that was one of the reasons as to why you guys decided to separate. But, you know, I think that when there are some trust issues, I believe that it could be that one party or both parties have difficulties when it comes to trusting. But at the same time, I believe that you have to be with someone that is trustworthy and that they prove every single day that they are someone that is worthy of trust. If that is not something that they do, and you are already a person that is prone to not trusting, then that will easily descend into paranoia. Easily, it will descend into paranoia. But when you got someone by your side that is actually a trustworthy person, then I believe that things will could just get better. You know, they can be a little rocky at the beginning, but if the person is trustworthy, your gut will tell you, you know, because I feel like our mind can create false scenarios up to a point, you know, but if it gets too intense, I feel like if it gets too much, there has to be some truth, you know, that has to be, you know, your fear mixed with the intuition, you know, so it's your intuition that is trying to give an input to your brain, you know, like something is not right here. I think that there's something happening that, you know, that we don't know about. But your brain, since is terrified of that eventuality, then it just completely blows it out of proportion. But there has to be at least a little bit of reality into that. And that is something that I've experienced personally, you know, that's why I'm saying it, that sometimes it's not always the brain that is doing the work. Sometimes there actually is something that is going on, not at the levels that you think, but there is something happening, you know? So I am getting here that there are some trust issues with this Page of Wands. I'm getting that someone in this relationship might be very much, I'm gonna say hormonal, you know, like a 15-year-old boy, 15-year-old girl. We're talking about that, you know, we're talking about that level of maturity. We're talking about that level of hormonal charge, and, you know, we're all adults here, I believe. I don't believe I have any kids watching this. So, you know, when you're with someone that can't really control themselves, their emotions and everything, you know, it's just like, it's a big red flag. You know, it's a huge red flag. I'm getting here though that obviously there is potential here because we have the Nine of Pentacles, but I feel like this is also a lot about, you know, what you both do with your lives while you are apart, you know? So it's like creating success separately and then you come back together. And so you combine your successes to make it one big success and whatever. You get what I'm saying. I completely lost that thought. Okay, let's see what else we have here. So here we have the Ace of Pentacles. Here we have the Devil. All right. And then here we have Death. Oh my God. Devil and Death is not really two cards that I have often seen being, you know, right next to each other. So we have Leo energy, Capricorn energy, Scorpio energy. So you could have been dealing with one of these signs. And here we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, speaking about a maturity. At the back of the deck here, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the Lovers. Here we have the Seven of Swords. And then here we have the World. From what I'm seeing right now, it is highly unlikely that you guys are going to be getting back together, precisely because someone here is extremely immature. And it's just a turn off. Like if you were to think about this person rationally, I believe that you would get turned off. And I believe that maybe you would think, how the hell did I manage to be with someone like that? You know, like there's no respect, you know, as, you know, for this person as an individual, you know, it's like, yeah, no, maybe if you were to meet a person like this, you know, out, you know, let's say in a pub or whatever, somewhere public, and you would catch these vibes, you would be like, yeah, can you like fuck off? Because like you're giving me a lot of creepy vibes and like, yeah, no, you know, you would never get involved with someone like this. But there is a karmic connection here. Here we have the Lovers and we have the Devil. There is a karmic relationship here between you guys. So there definitely is a connection. There is a spiritual connection, but I feel like it's more karmic than anything else. And I feel like this person is quite stagnant. I feel like you're more oriented towards progression and evolution, and this person is just super stagnant. Like they even find they find their behavior and even their ways of thinking actually quite amusing, you know, while you find nothing amusing in childishness, you know, because this is not childlike energy. This is not a young spirit. This is not some youth, you know, some healthy youth. This is pure, immature childishness. And there's a very thin layer between these two things. But we're pretty much there, you know. And with the Seven of Swords, it could be that this person has done a few things behind your back, maybe talked to other girls or other men, or, you know, was just doing stuff that was not really aligned with you, you know. So maybe that's where the trust issues come from. It's like, well, if this person, you know, likes a bunch of pictures on Instagram or a bunch of videos of certain type of content on TikTok or something, then how long is it going to take before they actually do something in real life, you know? And well, I'm right behind you, to be honest with you. So, you know, if you felt crazy, well, you were not, you know, you were not crazy at all, because we're talking about someone that has no self-control. So there's absolutely nothing crazy about, you know, just recognizing reality for what it is. This person can't really be trusted because they're childlike, you know. They love you, they have feelings for you, but you guys are just on two different planets. Absolutely, you're in two different planets. So here we have Death and the World. Highly unlikely that you guys are gonna get back together. Also because during this time of separation, you're evolving. This person isn't. So then once there's going to be some reconnection between you guys, you're going to be seeing that this person just cannot give you what you need. And it's going to be easier to accept it because you're going to be looking at this person from a higher level. You're going to be like zooming out entirely. You're going to be looking at them and be like, yeah, this is just not going to work out. Like ever. Ever. I feel like this person absolutely knows that if they want to come back to you, if they want to you know, have a relationship with you again, they have to give you something, you know, that is meaningful and that is substantial, you know, but they're just incapable of doing that. I feel like this person has a lot of emotional lacks that they don't even want to work on, you know? So at the end of the day, yes, the love was strong. The love is very strong. Maybe you were twin flames. I'm getting that as well. But I feel like this has definitely been for the best, and you're going to be realizing it as time goes by. All right. Okay, Pal 3, this is all that I have for you. If it made sense, please let me know. And we're just going to be seeing each other next time. Okay. Bye-bye.